What's going on here? So we saw, actually, no, I didn't. Did I?
Are you guys noticing just now, noticing that 50% of the discourse on this app is Jew
I feel
hate
like I saw this
based
on stream already,
neoliberal
but whatever.
queen? Okay.
This is anti-Semitic, right? It has nothing to do with Israel per se. It's something related to Judaism, not Zionism. This is anti-Semitic, right? And it's this fucking video of this dude. Every president not named JFK bonking their head off the wall, doing Jew stuff. It's just very like Zog shit, you know, like American presidents are bought by and controlled by the state of Israel, apart from JFK, the real hero, and the Zionists murdered JFK, like the whole thing because he tried to stop their nuclear program. That's the whole meme. It's very anti-Semitic. And Contrapoints, are you guys just now noticing that like 50% of the Discord on this app is Jew hate? Ooh,
True.
Jew hate. Now that would entail a lot of the anti-Israel leftists as well in there. That sounds like what she's implying. And it seems like she's implying that because left-wingers defended this video. Believe it or not, left-wingers. Vadim,
Oh shit.
famous, Weasley,
Oh no.
slightly
It's
wretched
over.
on occasion, left-winger.
Box is cool.
I've always thought of you as someone who is disgusted by insincere religiosity and how our politicians cynically use it as a cover for their corruption. I don't want to pit you two against one another, but can you help this girl see the light? And he tags some. What a fucking. It's just like, how can you get proven wrong so many times be off base on so many issues relating to this conflict and still think he's like, see the light? Holy fuck, man. The cult shit. Jesus Christ. Trigger. Help this girl. This bitch. Okay.
Okay.
Do you genuinely not get that this is referencing a conspiracy theory that the Zionists killed JFK? And apparently he might have deleted a tweet.
Oh yeah, so Vadim, okay, one of the few lefty philosopher, whatever the fuck, okay, cringe lords on YouTube, lefty person. He had a debate with Hutch and Lonerbox, and he gave one of the most embarrassing performances known to man ever, okay? I remember seeing it and I'm like, wow, it's time to quit. It's like one of the worst fucking displays performance-wise ever, okay?
Here, but I don't know. Carter was the first president to visit Israel in 1979. Wow. The Western Wall was not even under Israeli control until 67. I didn't actually know this about Carter, that no one visited until... I did guess there was a problem with the JFK one because, yeah, like they didn't have the Western Wall. It was under Jordanian occupation. It wouldn't have anything to do with... It wouldn't have anything to do with Israel before 67. And JFK died in what, 63, 64? God. Oh, dang, you're right. I jumped to some conclusions without thinking. That's my bad. Regardless, I'm familiar with the individual you're accusing of promoting this theory and Jew hate, and I think you're extremely off base. You're such an awesome and influential voice, which is why I can't help but jump in when I see you making a statement that, in my honest opinion, does not help address genuine anti-Semitism at all. Pointing the finger in the wrong direction so strongly just contributes to hysteria that keeps us from addressing it properly. Bro, the guy is like is this the guy you're talking about? And then it's him on fucking InfoWars. Yes, it is. Not going to defend that, though. I'm fair. I'll go ahead and give that a...
This casual... If you're going to hate ContraPoints, you should just, like, dedicate yourself to hating her, okay? Like, what's with this, like, wishy-washy, hey, I respect her clout, give me more clout hate?
Yikes. What? It's just like the real... He's so like, his honesty is, like, his candid... or his, like, the fact that he'll say these things without thinking. His foot and mouth tendencies. It's like kind of helpful in the way that it's just like so openly displaying the fact that like this is what's happening to left wingers, is that they're falling for right wing anti-Semitic fucking nut job theories and takes and even people because they talk similar. They're similar in what they believe. Disinfo tracker. This woman is a mass murderer who has helped destroy several countries. What she did to Libya alone should damn her to hell for eternity. Meanwhile, you're attacking a guy for mocking the genocidal state of Israel.
First-time donor.
Now, this is quite subtle as well, right? Because obviously, the guy is mocking U.S. presidents.
Disinfo tracker also had a very embarrassing debate with both Hutch and Lonerbox. Okay, he's had a very, very embarrassing performance. So yeah,
not even Israel, but okay. I guess they're the same thing. This person also insanely retarded, but okay. Man, Twitter.
Both very
Twitter.
embarrassing
And then Taylor
performances.
Lorenz, I think, chimed
Like honestly, like all they do is just like prattle on in their little loader box. All right. On Twitter, okay, alone in their little box on Twitter and on their own streams and in their videos. But the moment they have to face someone in debate, like they just instantly fall apart like so fast. They fall apart so fast you don't even and they run from every single interaction. It's crazy.
in as well at some point. Oh, there's Dan too. Where's Taylor's thing? Okay. Yeah, here. Deleted tweets.
Let me see if I can
Not
run
going to
path effects
litigate
out
this
too.
video, but I think that when making claims like 50% of the discourse on this app is Jew hate, it's extremely important to note that 99.9% of anti-Semitism on this app is from the far right / actual neo-Nazis who Musk has embraced, not communist TikTok.
Yeah, and then you have like Taylor Lorenz here. I don't know who this chick is, but apparently she's insane and she's like some kind of hardcore Hasan sucker. And she just argues like, yeah, you know what? It's only 1% that's coming from left wingers, so you shouldn't care about it. It's like,
Again, dumb, so ignorant. Left anti-Semitism has always been a thing. I don't see what is gained in denying it.
which three content creator would you want to have a one-on-one conversation the most? Mm, I actually want like a conversation with Little Karibo. He's the one behind the Yu-Gi-Oh, the Yu-Gi-Oh dubbed abridged dub, and I have like questions to ask him. Like, when are you ever gonna finish Yu-Gi-Oh abridged? Okay. I guess another person I would ask is like, fuck, who else would I ask? I don't know. I think I would need to think about it. Yeah. But no, like I wouldn't waste my 3 YouTube interactions on motherfucking political drama sloppers, okay? Period. I wouldn't do that. I'm sorry. I would spend it on like far more interesting people. I'm sorry. I would just like do it with far more interesting YouTubers, okay? Who actually have like amazing history and shit.
Ooh. Ooh, that's a big one from Contrapoints. Oh shit, that's a big statement.
Left anti-Semitism has always been a thing. I don't see what is gained in denying it. Yeah, true.
That's a
Contrapoints
big
is right.
statement.
I really hope that she doesn't delete these tweets. Has she deleted these tweets? It's good. It's good that she hasn't deleted these tweets. Like fuck these people.
Because left wingers deny this, they deny it to the fucking hilt. They are so in denial of it. They probably do think this. They think 99.9 is probably still too generous in favor of the libs. Oh no. Addressing anti-Semitism in my sphere of influence.
No.
Yep.
Not
Are you
waste
trying
of
to
time.
claim that 50% of the
Why
leftist
would I?
discourse on this app is
Boring.
Jew hate?
Boring
Wait,
person.
no. What? That's not what she said. She was talking about the entire space, but she's just saying that the left-wing contribution to this is less, that is probably more than 0.1%. It's when she tries to draw conclusions like this, is like, that's how you know, like there's just, her brain doesn't really work. She's just a very dumb person.
Also, Natalie clearly doesn't like Contrapoints clearly doesn't like Hasan, I think. I hope so. Okay, that's my hope at the very least. Because it's clear to me that, you know, to this day she isn't talking about she isn't talking about the genocide or whatever that they want every single lefty YouTuber to talk about. By simply not doing that, I think that's an act of defiance already, you know? Otherwise she would have tweeted about it by now, at least. My usual streamers, Destiny, Loner Hutch, and now Foodshops, Pisco, not so much anymore, and now Foodshops. Hey, base, Tatsu. Yeah, that's honestly kind of base. True. I'm trying to expand my base audience, okay? This is why you guys should all join the Discord server. We just have conversations on there. Join in. Come in.
Because that's an insanely false and disingenuous claim, unless you're making the very false Zionist argument that anti-Zionism equals anti-Semitism. Okay. No, I'm not claiming that. So what's the claim? Because you started by making a claim about this app and then started talking about the left. So just trying to understand the convo. Well, yeah, because Taylor, you fucking retard. Sorry, you hack fucking twat. Like, you understand that she does this thing about Jew hatred on the platform, and then left-wingers with a fair bit of traction come in to defend the anti-Semitism, which probably puts a little dent into your little fucking thesis that actually, no, it's all right-wingers doing the anti-Semitism. It's all right-wingers. Well, clearly, Contrapoint seems to be noticing that it's not all right-wingers. It's left-wingers defending it as well. So, okay. Look at the thread you're responding to. I cite an example of blatant anti-Semitism. A bunch of leftists jumped in to say that, no, that's not anti-Semitism. There is no left, it's anti-Semitism. I don't see this as just a negligible fringe issue. I don't see people saying that leftist anti-Semitism doesn't exist. You said it's you said it's 0.1% of the anti-Semitic discourse. Holy fuck, bro. But if you say 50% of this app is Jew hate, then point to a communist creator, of course people will ask you to clarify. It seems like you're conflating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism too. Zionism is a Nazi ideology. Again, thinking Zionism as a Nazi ideology is anti-Semitism. I'm sorry.
I'm just
If you think these two movements are comparable or
pisses me off every
ideologically,
time.
then yeah, you're either ignorant about one of those things or both of them, or you're just doing it because you want to shit on Jews. Like, again, and I don't blame Jews for finding this anti-Semitic in the slightest, for being compared to fucking Nazis. Like, picking Nazis of all the, even of all the fascist ideologies you could pick, like picking Nazism specifically to describe a movement that was about Jews seeking an answer to 2,000 years of persecution and deciding, some of them correctly actually, that integration and assimilation in Europe wasn't actually going to save them, because that's where Zionism came from. Zionism came from people who were opposing the popular idea among Jews at the time, which was assimilationism, and saying that this will not work. They were right. It didn't work. Assimilationism did not help. It did not save the Jews in Europe. No amount of assimilation stopped the rise of fascism and Nazism and anti-Semitism in the 20th century. The Zionists were correct. They were correct on that. And to compare that to fucking Nazism, like, Jesus Christ, you're such a useless contributor to the space. God, you're the one making this conflation. If anti-Zionism sometimes means opposition to genocide in Gaza and other times means the Zios killed JFK because he was the only president they couldn't control, maybe Hitler had a point, I think that will have bad consequences. Nowhere here did I or anyone replying to this thread that I've seen say the second thing. Anti-Zionism is not she's just doubling down on the same fucking retarded shit. Jesus Christ. I think and the problem is that parts of this conversation were retweeted, I believe, by Ethan Klein, and I think by Destiny as well. So now she's saying, I think when your content is being used by a Zionist like Klein, you might want to consider that your message could have been communicated with more nuance. I don't think this issue is reducible to Hasan versus Ethan.
I think Contrapoints at this point should just come out as like a liberal. I mean, it's pretty obvious now that she is clearly trying to indicate that she is a liberal, I guess. But I think that she could use a little bit more. I think she just doesn't want to piss off her audience. Okay. I don't know. Like it's very clear to me that she is very liberal leaning and is trying to like virtue signal to liberals a little bit more. But she clearly has a section of our fan base that are like just hardcore like lefties, like bread to people or whatever. So she's trying to like be careful around them, but then I just don't get like what exactly is the benefit of doing that. I don't know, it's just silly.
No one mentioned Hasan
like
here. I said if your post is being leveraged by a well-known Zionist, it is probably worth clarifying your message.
Okay.
And then no response, and she doubles. Just reiterating that if a well-known Zionist was using my post to further his bad faith hate campaign against people who have been calling out the genocide in Gaza, I'd consider, if I was effectively communicating my message, just sharing for posterity, smiley face. God, she's such a fucking smug cunt. I hate Taylor Lorenz so much. It's just this whole, it's this combination of like ignorance, toxicity, and a fucking veneer of like niceness. Oh my God, it's so fucking gross. Ugh.
I'm trying to get
Jesus Christ. Guilt by retweet.
Honest,
again, sorry, Taylor, like how many fucking pro-terrorists, like literal pro-terrorists defend you, by the way? Fuck me. Who did I block here? No idea. Don't remember that person. Dan's in there. Oh no.
Also, I'm not
guys.
lagging,
If I was being
being
favorably replied to by Dan Saltman, wow. Mike from PA chimed in as well. I think he replied to this with just that. Natalie, question: would you consider yourself a liberal Zionist? And then she blocks him. I'll take that as a yes. God, he's so important, isn't he? And now he's like spurging out in his replies as well.
Dude.
Oh God. Someone posting a, 15-year-old video of Contrapoints saying Islam reform or get out? Okay. Rare
lag, I think.
redacted from redacted win. I non-stop win. Can you give me an example of an L? Oh no. A well-known Zionist. Damn. Max Copeland, thanks for the $4.99. Appreciate that. But yeah, she's really sparking some discourse contrapoints. Fuck. Again, remember a few days ago, about a week or so ago, I said that Contrapoints did seem like the way she was tweeting, it looked like she wanted to say something about the lefty pro-pally sphere, whatever.
Based.
It's funny that she got there and properly dug into these fights now with Taylor and Vadim and Mike from PA. It's funny that she ended up in that position because she called out a right-wing tweet. The JFK thing is a right-wing anti-Semitic take. That's what it, traditionally at least, but now that the left are starting to buy it, maybe it's changed, but traditionally, the idea that the Zionists killed JFK because he was trying to stop the nuclear program, that's a Nazi anti-Semitic take, not like a left-wing one. But now it seems that by calling out the Nazi take, she's attracted the ire of the leftists, which is quite interesting, really. So now Ethan is firing off at Taylor as well. Ethan drops a barrage of IG stories on Taylor Lorenz. Hypocrisy of using 12-year-old clips when Hasan has bro tips on his resume. What's she saying here?
Here's the other thing with Hasan. He's unreasonably good looking and like cool and dresses cool.
Tell me about it.
But do you know what I mean? Like
Hasan
would be an influencer no matter what he was saying because he is
hot.
Bro.
I don't know who is doing the glazing there, but this has to stop. That level of glazing has to stop. Okay, that just gave me the biggest ick vibes ever. Okay, why the fuck would you, dude? I'm sorry. Okay, like the glazing is disgusting. Even I wouldn't go like, yeah, you know what? Destiny is like the sexiest motherfucker that ever lived. God, actually, I did say that I would suck Destiny's cock. Okay, but I wouldn't say like Destiny is attractive. Obviously, I'm talking about sucking his cock in the metaphorical way, okay? But it's not like people understand. Whatever.
This week's pro tip is about bringing out the alpha male in you. A few things to consider when you're thinking about Lady Gaga as the top contender for Babe of the Week should be the fact that she might have a penis.
Yes.
The fact that Lady Gaga might have a small penis does absolutely terrify me.
So
Here's why the 5-second rule works. Because when you start thinking for longer than 5 seconds, you're immediately not thinking with your dick and also thinking with this pesky thing up here that we like to call our brains. So once you start thinking with your brain, you're immediately going to psych yourself out. Come back again next week when we discuss the legendary question of all time. Old enough to count, old enough to mount? Question mark? I want to say thank you to Miley Cyrus for showing off her camel toe at the VMAs the other night. I always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut. Don't even try to hide it. Look, this is a classic example of what happens when your father doesn't pay attention to you. You turn out to be a slut who's craving for attention, and then I tend to pick you up at a bar late night and bang you out on the first date. Bro tip. This week's bro tip.
The sound of his voice, like the cadence and the pitch of his voice is it's so funny, man. God, it's so funny. Unbelievable. The professional, man. Okay. Oh my God, Lefty. You can tell Ethan's still on the left with the length of this fucking post. So Taylor, is that really the extent of your logic? Ethan used this screenshot to rethink your position. What a shallow, helpless, unintellectual loser. Wow. It would be anti-intellectual, really. Yours is the beautiful mind that conceived of Ethan criticized me, therefore he's a misogynist. Nah, you're just an idiot. Here's a video from 12 years ago that proves Ethan is a misogynist. You call yourself a journalist, but truthfully, you are nothing more than an internet mean girl, all while defending the old enough to count, old enough to mount bro tips era Hasan Piker. How did I not know about this? What, the bro tips? This week's bro tips! Yeah. You will notice, now that you've seen that, okay, you will start to notice every now and then Hasan's like frat bro misogyny. It's still there. Like it still comes out.
Yeah, it's still there. Okay, like no one denies this either. Okay, like when was the last time you ever seen Hasan say women's rights? Exactly. Yeah, got him. I'm kidding. The point is that fuck Hasan. Okay, that's the point.
And not that rarely either.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Taylor interacting with a dedicated snarker hate Twitter account. Ethan's attic is peak unawareness. Aren't you supposed to be an anti-snark hero?
He's the most progressive Turk.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Taylor, a bunch of weirdo harassers, doxers, and anti-Semites are sharing your post right now. That Ethan's Attic guy literally just defended the dude, saying that Hitler might have had a point. Oh, shit!
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what TC Bob is referring to is specifically in regards to Hasan saying it's actually morally defensible to rape white girls who are like daughters of rich parents. The reason why it's defensible is because overall it is a net good for society to rape them because you are bringing harm to the rich or some shit. Like he actually fucking justified that shit. It's crazy.
Uh-oh.
I'm not joking.
Well, that's not good. That ain't good,
Yeah,
bros.
I'm
Is
just-
that real?
I'm not
Chat,
joking.
is this real? This is the beef. Okay,
It's as crazy as it
cute.
sounds.
Wait, you think that was serious? What, the bro tips thing? You realize that the Lady Gaga thing, especially like even as humor, is still something that progressives would not let you get away with right now, right? Are you okay? What's this? Was JFK even anti-Israel? Not really. Not particularly. Every single president has had like run-ins with every single president, barring a couple, have had run-ins with Israel over something or other, right? It's just dumb conspiracy theory.
Explosive.
This is Bob
spear.
Villain in May 2025, so 2 months ago.
Death to every single IDF soldier out there as an agent of terror for Israel. Death to every single IDF soldier out there.
Man, why did Pierce not have that to hand?
As an agent of terror for Israel.
Explosive spear.
You're missing the context. He meant active soldiers. Wait, can we get an edit? Can we just get this like side by side with Taylor Lorenz saying that he means the institution, not the individual soldiers? Fuck. Can you post the links to both these videos? Yeah.
Oh, I'm
well,
doing
the
this
Pierce one
wrong.
is
I
just on
haven't
the
played in a
Pierce
while.
show. Like that's easy enough to find, right? When that's the other one. Or honestly, I can just do my fucking job and we can do it side by side right now. What the fuck? Look, we can just do it right now. No, not that one. No, this one. Where is it?
Well, yeah, because
What?
again, if an army is committing genocide and slaughtering babies,
failed spectacularly like this. They didn't even see it coming, which is shocking.
Taylor, let me bring Taylor back here. Do you agree that free speech
didn't know
does
she
not
had
come
that
without
much influence.
accountability? Otherwise, you can say what you want to say, and he did, and he got what he wanted, a blaze of publicity, a blaze of headlines. But now he's feeling the icy chill of accountability dropped by his agency,
icy chill
United
of
Talent
accountability.
Agency.
Thank you,
Had his
Shakespeare
visa
Mark.
revoked and so on, which will affect the tour that he was planning to do, or that they were as a group. I mean, do you think that that is appropriate punishment if you incite violence?
I think what Hen said about how, artists are doing this for
Is it here?
We can't condemn it, and all due respect, if you try and twist it into, well, he was just talking about the institution, not about individual IDF soldiers.
Is it here?
One's taking that as meaning the institution,
Oh,
but
no,
taking it as meaning
Did she not
British
say
soldiers.
institution?
When people say death to America, they mean death to American imperialism
where is it?
that is subjugated
No,
them.
they don't. They mean death to Americans.
That's a very generous.
The tour that he was planning to do, or that they were as a group. I mean, do you think that that is appropriate?
Where is it? Was it here?
How, artists are doing this for publicity.
Can be. When you get banned,
Again, I think losing out the way that musicians make money is primarily through
Amorphous.
touring, especially if you're a small musician. And if you suddenly can't tour and you're shut out of the
don't think
largest
you can find
market
that one there.
in the West, which is
Because don't look now, but your shoe is untied. I'm literally barefoot in slippers. Okay, there's no way that is
America,
possible.
I do think that will have a significant impact. The focus on the genocide. I mean, we had hundreds of Israelis chanting "death to Arabs," right, which was completely. Well, I certainly didn't see a lot of the people that are freaking out about Bob Villain speaking in the
so
same.
itself that
I'm not looking.
has issued.
Next is stop the genocide. Again, if people really military forces,
I
then
don't
they
think
need
anyone
to...
wants positive sentiment. I don't know why you twisted it around. We're saying we don't want anyone to call for the death of anyone. I mean,
Okay,
if you are
want people-
Might have been at
advocating
the start, actually.
A
Yeah.
step too far. Normally, heated festivals. James Barr, editor and culture commentator for our Khalidi. Welcome to all of you. If you think death to the IDF is a bad thing to say or chant, you don't get to describe yourself as anti-fascist going forward. Why did you repost that?
Oh.
Yeah, I repost tons of commentary on news events, basically. So I was sort of resharing, which is something that I do a lot on my main page. I kind of just reshare a lot of discourse. I think one thing that's being really lost in all of these conversations is that the Israeli military is committing genocide. And so I completely understand why
people, and every Jew I know felt the same way, that the Gladsbury fans were calling for the death of Israeli soldiers. What we hear when we hear death to the IDF is that the only line of defense between Jews and another, as you would see at the post that I made calling this out, as well as the Israeli government itself, as you would see.
Again, if people want the public and these artists to have more positives, they didn't say death to Israelis, they said death to the IDF. Again,
who are Israeli. I have a lot of criticism of what the Israeli government is doing in Gaza right now.
Shit.
To come together in the spirit of love. Not this time. Punk rap duo Bob Dylan. They crowds in vitriolic chants about Israel, which made global headlines.
Let's say
were condemned by the bad thing to say or chant. You don't get to describe yourself as anti-fascist going forward. Why did you repost that?
So I was sort of resharing, which is something that's being really lost in all of these conversations, is that the Israeli military is committing genocide. And so I completely understand why people are upset about anyone sort of calling for death, but it's important to recognize that the reason that they're calling for death to this sort of amorphous military entity. We found out Haaretz reported just last week that they were knowingly...
They weren't talking about an entity, they were talking about the soldiers. They wanted the death to the IDF soldiers.
No, they didn't say death to the IDF soldiers. They said death to the IDF. Again, the IDF is a military entity. If people would like the public to change their sentiments around the IDF, they should advocate for the end of the genocide.
What do you think the IDF is?
It's a military organization. Again, if people want that, people are very angry at right now because this military organization is currently...
Yeah, again, so like, she's saying that he's talking about the IDF as an institution, not killing the people. And then obviously this is the guy... Bob Dylan from 1 month ago.
Death to every single IDF soldier out there as an agent of terror for Israel. Death to the IDF.
So I feel like it's quite clear what he means. I don't know why you... Okay. Nah, he means this is a concept. It's that thing again. Let's make defenses for people that they wouldn't even make for themselves. Well done, Taylor. Well done.
I mean, technically, you can actually try to morally justify. I just don't think any one of these lefties actually has the brain power to justify anything. I think that if you're an actor in a war, then yeah, you should be subject to the risk of death. Yeah, of course. And if you're against that particular faction in war and you can make a morally justifiable argument, you can morally justify something. But I just don't think lefties are particularly thinking about oh, which people are the good guys, which people aren't the good guys. They're just thinking of the entire system as oppressor and oppressee, and that's where their analysis begins and ends, no?
Journalistic rigor there. Yeah, I know. Even if you say that it was just meaning it as an institution, that's still problematic, and you can engage on that level too. But this guy's just saying kill them all. Okay.
Death to every single IDF soldier out there.
A lot of it is just trendy to say.
For Israel.
Every single one. Let's go.
Cool. Okay, let's see. Let's watch one more. I believe that generalizing is always easy for leftists. Absolutely. What is this? I did nothing wrong. Okay, yeah, we have a Ludwig segment. Let's do it.